always. We pray. Okay. I mean, okay, so there's another episode. How many now? You mentioned to me
Probably
yesterday.
28, 29-ish.
Ish, which is
Close to 30.
which is strange to me. I thought we were like 23, but I'm
Yeah.
keeping track well. So what I wanted to kind of mention now, since it's somewhat fresh, is the article we looked at yesterday, which was very funny because we did a video, remember, about something very similar. So the article was from Morning Brew,
Yeah.
and it talked about
Yeah.
how board games are a booming market, especially during COVID, and also going forward.
Yeah,
So
and it's only looking brighter.
they did its own article just about board games and how it's a growing industry.
Just Warhammer is $1 billion industry on its own, and then what was another one? Magic the Gathering, right?
Magic the Gathering was the other massive one.
Yeah, $13 billion or something.
Yeah, that was the
shocking.
size of the whole market. Yeah, it's massive. Which is funny because we looked into it the week before and we got video evidence.
Yeah, so it's like we are in the right track, so we both are planning to maybe make it a serious business idea and start with something, I guess, sooner than later, because we are at 2024. It's only going up. Okay, I personally think the bubble will only become bigger for next 3-4 years. We have to ride the wave and make money as much as we can before this bubble bursts. You see what I mean?
Before it goes.
I think people are all tired of so many good series, movies, games, AAA games in PC. They are tired of that they are looking forward to play some board games. It's so
which
weird.
Is weird.
Yeah.
Because they have so much good
we are
options.
in that age group, right? 22 and I'm 30. It's so strange, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how they go back to this more rudimentary thing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more social though.
But it's so fun though. Yeah. That means people like to still be in person, social contact with each other rather than. You can play and cards everywhere online also, but people
prefer to do it in person. I think there's definitely something with that though. They prefer to do it in person.
Yeah.
So we looked at multiple potential, what should we say, topics or concepts for board games in a way. And that kind of goes into another thing actually, but for now we'll just talk about the different concepts that we got. These are just the riffs. So 2 of them, which I thought was the coolest actually, we got the phone here, that's why I'm reading it off of. One of them was basically Earth and Mars, because it's a very more relevant topic now.
Yeah, space exploration is kind of hot again, again after Elon Musk.
So it's basically a board game about, it's a Monopoly Civilization kind of thing.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of luck based in a way, and you got to balance between polluting and making enough money to get away.
To create a sustainable ecosystem on Earth while trying to colonize Mars. Something like that. It's very superficial though, but we just wanted to.
We're just riffing
brainstorm.
it. Just so you got to balance between pollution and making enough money to actually do what you got to do, and then. The other one, which was, you came up with this one actually, which was the endangered species thing.
Yeah.
And we thought that was really relevant because and you talked about the concept of it was basically you start out and then you...
even before telling that why, right? Why I thought that will be making sense is we both study veterinary animals. Obviously, we love animals. And we also saw the evidence of a botany-based game.
It was a massive one.
$1 million in Kickstarter. How niche is plants?
Yeah.
Flowers especially. That's basically getting flowers from all over the world, rare flowers, and taking it to the British Natural History Society.
It's a collection thing.
Basically, if that is there, all people love animals, as much as or even more than plants, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, fucking let's go and do something there, and then trying to... it's the storyline, to study, you become a biotechnology engineer, you get investment, start a company, use CRISPR and try to conserve these endangered animals, and then move to the next species, and then you try to fix the broken ecosystem.
Conserve broken animals, and then also, I guess you could also revive old ones, because it's based off kind of what you're interested in and what we're interested in. Because you're looking into the mammoth lab, for example.
Yeah, for example, yeah, I'm into the de-extinction projects and stuff that is currently happening where they're trying to
Yeah.
bring back the woolly mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, and some dodo also
Oh
is part
yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Dodo is also part of it. It's like so cool though,
Oh.
and rhinoceros as well. So yeah, it's
Mm.
fucking crazy, man. Like
Yeah, woolly rhinoceros, right?
I don't know. I think the one that is
Woolly
endangered.
rhino is
Okay.
extinct, so that's
Okay,
fine.
no, I'm saying the one that is endangered in Africa now.
Really?
That
Okay.
northern white rhino or something like that.
I
is
thought
the
they
one.
also did something with the woolly rhino.
Maybe in the future. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the one. But what I know is they are trying to bring back the rhinoceros that's going extinct now.
Ah, okay, that's cool though.
At least to preserve its DNA already, so that before we lose it like completely, right? Yeah.
Before we lose it completely. Yeah, that's a fair point actually. So yeah, that's the things we were looking at, and it was basically, yeah, there's multiple things you can do with it, and we thought the animal thing was more relevant to us personally because first of all, everybody loves animals, and two, we know
We have an edge over.
yeah over the general population
Yeah.
when it comes to
It'll be
these
very
things.
interesting though. You can have a veterinary hospital, multi-specialty hospital to do the IVF, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might grow something like that, but that seems more like a game rather than a board game. You gotta gamify it.
Yeah. I mean, we are just talking about the storyline now. We just very superficially, like, we wanted to build on top of it, right? Like, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if any of these suggestions sound even remotely interesting, please write so we know something.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, yeah, it's a very interesting topic also. Like we were talking about, like, why not let's have a veterinary clinic as a business or something? Why not that? And then we saw this, you know, there are so many other easier ways to make money, easier ways to make money with low risk. Not that we shouldn't have a veterinary clinic or a hospital in the future, but not instantly because we are ourselves student and we lack the experience as veterinarians. So it will be too much to bite off of, you know, at the initial stages where we are trying to learn what it means to be a doctor in the first place. When you run a veterinary clinic, you are not just a doctor, you are like a supplier, like a legal advisors,
repairman,
logistics.
You also repair a lot of the equipment.
Deal with people, patients, fucking staff members, hire, fire, investment, freaking run a clinic is like a whole new ball game than just being a vet. If being a vet is harder, then running a clinic is like
top. It's like the final boy. But it is extremely interesting though, and it is the end goal to some degree. For both. But it's just the reason we don't instantly go to the clinic though is because we both realized in a way that in order to
why
get
are we the right person? Do we have the edge or the skills now? Yeah,
and also not only that, but also the fact that in order to get the clinic, in reality, it requires a lot of investment. And that's difficult to do unless you've done something else.
And also we have to pick a country. If it is USA, it's more profitable, of course, than Europe because the taxation is heavier. Like we have a lot of unknown stuff, and you know where else is profitable? You know,
Switzerland.
Nope.
Netherlands.
Something that's not a part of EU.
Not a part of Europe. Like EU or Europe.
EU continent.
Okay, Europe. South America.
Middle East.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point. That's
a monstrous market, you know.
That's something. Yeah,
there's a huge scope there. I spoke to some suppliers who supply veterinary equipment for surgeries, there, in the Middle East, and he said like there's a lot of scope there.
That's cool though. I mean, working in the Middle East is really. I mean, it is a cool thing, but.
With no taxes to low tax, low to no taxes, like even crazier on top of it. You make money there, get the money, invest in a clinic in EU if you want to, anyways. Or you franchise it.
If you want to have a clinic in Norway or whatever country you came from, just to have one.
Yeah, but maybe not as the first one is what we decided, kind of. But more, let's leave the veterinary thing there, and we decided to stick with the board games things because it's small enough. Still, it's harder, complicated, so many things are there, but it is small enough that we will be able to do it, I think.
Yeah, at least try. And they also talked about actually in the article how the board game industry
Mm-hmm.
might suffer a little bit
Mm-hmm.
under Trump because
Yeah, oh
because
man. Yeah,
one
I thought you did not read that. I was about to say that too. We
yeah
will have challenges there also, but it will be a smaller challenge compared to every other
yeah
challenge, you know.
running a clinic.
But if you see that only applies to supplying to USA, right? Now if we make the
That's
product
a fair
via
point.
Europe,
We
you
are
order stuff
Europeans.
from China, it comes to Europe, and then you distribute it, right? You ship it. Do not ship directly from there to there, where you get fucked by tariffs, right?
Yeah, that's a really good point. We
Mm.
don't live in the U.S., so it's fine.
Yeah.
But basically, what because he's gonna have massive tariffs on Chinese products
Mm-hmm.
is his plan, and most board games are produced in China. That's why, just so
Mm-hmm.
people get informed about why. Um, and that kind of brings us about
Mm.
the other thing that we kind of thought about yesterday, which was
Mm.
um, I mean, it goes into two things here. One is monetizing the things that we kind of predicted in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked into the board game market, and then all of a sudden, massive article about how the board game market is
Mm-hmm.
blowing off, and then also the Noah Kagan thing.
Yeah, we read the book of $1 million weekends.
Yeah,
According to
a
that,
while ago.
we have
Yeah.
to pick a idea and then start validating. We have to do a series of steps. So it's like he said a while ago. So we wanted to read the book again while
Reread.
refining this idea because we already validated the market size and the potential of it.
Yeah, the
And
market size is good,
yeah,
and the supplying is good, and then we already looked at other examples of
I
somebody
literally
doing
went to
something
Kickstarter,
similar.
looked at every single campaign, the board games.
Yeah,
Every
how are
single
they
thing
doing?
is 1,000 plus funded, not like 100%
Yeah.
funded, 200, 300. Fucking everything, man. There is like I don't know. It's just massive.
It's surprisingly massive though, and also we also
And there are so many collectors. We never know that, right?
yeah
Board
people
games is like such a big thing. Board game, card game. It could be any kind of a
they just
physical
collect anything and everything.
collect games. Yeah.
It's collection games.
Yeah.
Okay, or I thought they were collecting games, but it's collection games. You're
No,
talking about?
collecting.
Okay, so they're collecting different kinds of board
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. I thought it was collection games.
And then literally these Kickstarter people are giving that early bird thing, that collector's edition coin, golden card or
Yeah.
something, collector's edition, silver edition, some simply, they just make up stuff and then these things sell like hotcakes, man. I'm like,
It's weird.
wow.
Yeah. So we think it could be possible.
A potential idea that we could explore, which does not it might break the bank, but it's worth a try. It's okay to try, I think. So yeah.
And fuck it up and realize
Yeah.
we're not that great.
Or designing or logistics, because it's not just designing a board game and you become successful. It's about logistics, shipping, packaging, selling, print quality, like it's a lot of things, material quality, long lasting or not. And then we also have the 3D printer, right? So we are also talking about different ways,
Of
to
monetizing your ideas.
yeah, maybe we create a 3D printing based game pieces for the board game or a card or whatever that is. So we will see what comes up, which is very early stage. We just validated the market size.
Yeah.
And we are confident, and we just got confirmation that it's a real market.
Yeah.
So one step done. Probably in upcoming videos we will talk more about it, more brainstorming, more stuff. We'll come up with more stuff, and let's see where it goes. Maybe multiple board games or something, so that we have couple of ideas fully written down,
that's a
and then
good
we can
idea.
eliminate. Pick one, maybe the space one, maybe the zoology one, maybe the extinction one. I don't know, something of those sorts. And
I'm just writing that down actually,
Yeah.
so we don't forget. To remove, I'll just make multiple games to remove
yeah,
like
so that,
strip
and
them.
also why not have multiple games also, like that's what these guys do, in Kickstarter. They'll have a series of tests. If we cross 10,000, that game also will be attached.
Okay.
If we cross 30,000, the third game will also be given. You will get like 20% or 80% discount or something. You see.
That's weird though. Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah.
And that's what Kickstarter is so good about though. A lot of funding comes from so many different people, so it's surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
And
Very excited about that though. This idea.
yeah, and we also looked at other things that you just casually 3D print in a
Mhm.
way. So that's definitely something you could just post and see if it hits.
Yeah. Like another thing that he was recommending me was like to come up with a unique model that solves a problem of some kind, and then maybe 3D print those models and then try to sell the model separately or the product itself. In this case, is basically a earphone decoiling plug or something, like when
Yeah,
you
so you can
travel
organize.
you can just organize your earplug, put your earbuds here, and then wrap your cable around it, and then put the headphone jack through this hole, and that's all. You can just carry it anywhere without tangling, without losing
Yeah.
your shit, where you get
When
tangled
it
and
all
stuff.
gets stuck on
Yeah.
each other inevitably.
So this one I saw online. So so there are so many products that we could come up with that could solve some practical issues, and these things cost so less money to produce. This one costs probably $1 or $2 to make.
Yeah, if that, honestly.
I mean, less than $5, I would say, because of the labor cost, 3D printing, design cost. Like if you add all the electricity, all those costs, it will be a little bit higher. But the raw material and printing cost less than $1 to $2.
Yeah, and then
That's
you can sell them.
shocking than traditional manufacturing, where you spend like $10,000-$20,000 to create a mold. Once you create a mold, you cannot change it. For this, I have 2-3 iterations. If you want to put the if your headphone jack is Type C, it's a different hole. If it's a RJ 3.5 jack, it's a different hole. I can just make multiple iterations for the same price instantly. Like so instant changes. So yeah, so we are also thinking of some 3D printed product. That's even more easier than a board game, because board game is a more unknown territory.
Yeah.
Now just talking, reflecting on it, I think I should fucking do that first. Fail or succeed, then come to the board games, because it's not gonna go anywhere. But or maybe merge, find a way
it's
to.
not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. And then also you got multiple other projects. You also looked at the it's a Ziploc thing similar to this.
Yeah.
But with a cork and a
it's like a bottle
funnel.
cap, like
I also suggested adding a funnel to it somehow.
Yeah.
So that you can pour powder more easily, because now you have to unlock it. But with that one, you just unscrew it and then pour.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something you can do very easily.
Yeah.
Extremely easily. And that's just, and if you sell that for like a similar price to this, maybe a little bit more expensive.
Just the design alone, I can start selling already, right?
Yeah, because this is just a 3D printed plastic mold, right? Or probably just a plastic mold, because it's all one uniform.
It's not 3D printed, I would say mold.
It's definitely a mold.
ABS or something.
It's still, it's, I mean, you can get it into a plastic mold if it's cheaper to mold it.
Yeah.
But point is, it's very cheap to do, and I think you should just try and post it. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit.
Yeah, only thing is I have to make sure that I'm coming up with something original, That's
that doesn't get copyrighted.
Yeah, so that I am solely responsible for the design, and I own the thing completely, so that it's not a rip-off of anybody. So which is fine, but we have to find a suitable problem, practical problem, and solve it with 3D printing. It will be really cool though.
Yeah. So there's multiple things we can do. So that's kind of what we've been looking into.
So this is all the stuff that we wanted to talk about in this video. Is there anything else you want to
add? I think that mostly covered the ones that we wanted to talk about, though. Just kind of because the reason we mentioned the products, the plastic products, the wire thing and the thing to close bags, is mostly to because we met a weird blind spot thing yesterday, where you talked about it in a way that you thought that it was really common for people. Like everyone knew that this was a possibility.
Having that bias, I always think whatever I know, probably everybody knows. Why the fuck I have to talk about it, But actually, you told me that it is not generally the case. Yeah.
It's not the case. So just because you know all these different 3D models and you think,
or algorithms or anything tech related, just because I own it or I have it or I do that, I just think everybody also knows. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, so we've had multiple of those kind of epiphanies.
Yeah.
So we looked into it, and then it was just like something to look out for to make sure that your blind spot might be that you think it's common,
Yeah.
but it really isn't, and therefore you have something unique to
Yeah.
provide, or the opposite. So that's the last thing. That's all.
Awesome. So see you guys in another video. We are coming up with more business ideas, and let's see whatever hits. It'll be very funny if you just brainstorm some idea in this podcast and it becomes a real product and we make some real money. It'll be so cool. And thank you guys.
That's all we have. Oh, and we should probably also hook it into another video, right? We have multiple videos. So, okay, we have done a lot of different kinds of videos. We have done other videos about exploring things like business ideas before. I did one particularly about a language learning thing. I don't remember the episode though.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the topic is there.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
so it's just kind of looking into what you should look after when you're starting off with a business idea. What are the checks and balances
the
to go
topic
through?
title was like he wants to start a business or
It's
something.
the most viewed video, I think, actually.
Oh,
I think so.
okay.
Yeah. And not a huge one, 60, but
Yeah, sure.
but yeah, just talking about all the checks and balances, bouncing ideas of a person that you
and
know.
critiquing it like objectively, because I don't have a horse in the race, so it's just like I just say what I feel about it. Generally, that's like the mom's test, you know.
Yeah, it's called
like,
the mom's
will
test.
I pay for that language app or not? Like, why you are the right person? What is the problem? What are you solving? Like, is it even a bigger market? Is there a real problem here, or is just you are interested in a language? You know. So it's like we just delved a lot of useful things. I'm pretty sure so many of you guys who wanted to start a business will be finding it useful. And also please do check out the $1 billion idea that we spoke about, this board game stuff specifically as a video that we predicted a couple of videos back. Check it out and see you.
That's all we have. Thank you.